It's cold out there. Yeah. I mean, these um these darn people running to be president telling you to get out there and vote even if it kills you. Don't worry about if you're sick. Don't worry about it. It's 25 below zero. Get out and vote for me. That's what they saying. That's what they telling people. Um, I'm like, excuse me. Now,
Good Sunday morning from a bitterly cold Des Moines, Iowa, where tomorrow night Republican voters will finally get their say on who they want facing off against President Biden in November.
that's a
Former
choice.
President Trump, who's been dominating the
That's a choice that every voter must take, no matter where you at. Because even voting for the president is in November, and it don't be extremely cold, but you never know the way this weather is coming. It could be any kind of weather, be hot, warm, cold, and but this Iowa caucuses that they are voting for now, it is extremely cold, and it is people out there that's voting. But uh, I know, as Democrats, we are glad our man's already in the White House because we ain't got to go out there in that cold. Um, and what are they voting for? Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Every 4 years. Really comes so fast. But I'm telling you, those 4 years we had the last round, it seemed like it was going to never end. Every day was, oh, when is this 4 years going to be up? Because who wants to hear? I mean, the man had a rally through his whole pregnancy. I mean, presidency rallies. He, people didn't see it right then that he thought he was a dictator. That's what dictators do. They have rallies all the time, trying to keep their people in line. They don't want their people to start thinking, for themselves. They don't want them to start having any kind of critical thinking. You know, and that's what they do to get in your head. I don't want nobody getting in my head. I want to see what you're doing. Okay, and we all should be saying, I can't believe what you say because I see what you do. I see how you act. If this is how you act on the national stage, no telling how you act behind doors. I have never in my life since I've been on this earth heard uh, a nominee and president talk like that and talk about people so bad. They got people so scared. Why are you scared? And he gonna say something bad about you, and then people ain't gonna like you no more. Oh my goodness. That's what we are seeing exactly what I've been knowing all these years. These is nothing but immature little kids playing with their little toys, and we are their toys. These are people that never grew up. They just thought that they wanted to ruin people's lives, and make money while they at it. And we seem to forget how treacherous white people are. We we don't we don't forget about the the 400 years of slavery, and then another 200 100 so years of Jim Crow, and now we in Jane Crow. I mean, come on. Did they forget the Atlanta bombing? How many bombings there were? Did they forget about how the police literally bombed neighborhoods? Did we forget about how they set up there and killed uh, um, Fred Hampton? And don't forget about the Indians. How they took those people's kids away from their parents and tried to uh, inoculate them, tried to make them be like them. That's what they do. They want to rule you and ruin you because that's all they can do. They can't help you. They can only hurt you. Now, the wonderful things that they did that because white people was hurting. They started giving you welfare. Just like when they finally um, uh, integrated the armed first services and start doing the New Deal, where they was giving the people homes and giving them free education and all this stuff. And black people was basically Republicans. And what they did was put a pacifier in our face, in our mouth, and we became Democrats. And and then the Republicans start taking over, taking the facade of um, the Republicans started becoming like the Democrats back in slavery time. Now, anybody that's okay with the Republican Party is um, really what you call indoctrinated and uh, they have been mind controlled. Because when you look at the Republican Party, you see mostly white people, pure white and ugly. I haven't seen a cute Republican yet. Mm-mm. Don't you dare say that Bombard girl. Mm-mm. I can already tell. You take that makeup, she gonna look like uh, a dog. Um, I don't know if y'all ever read this book, The Medical Apartheid, The Dark History of Medical Experimentation on Black Americans from Colony Times to the Present. I'm going to read a little bit of what this says right here. Okay, just a little bit. It's talking about the incarceration. I do believe they have been doing something to our black men. to make them so vulnerable to the violence. I really do. I think they're doing something to them since they was babies, because this has just gotten out of hand. And then, and here it says, okay, okay, this is talking about trials. You know how they um, do all these trials on different medicines and stuff. But this is Jesse Williams and thousands of his fellow incarcerated research subjects were African American. American is no accident. African Americans have always been dramatically overrepresented in schools and prisons at a national rate of 40 to 61% of all the incarcerated. So, any discussions of U.S. inmates is closely bound up with race, and medical experimentation behind bars is no exception. Some influential, influential white scientists, such as Italian physician Cesare Lombroso, whose theories were discussed in Chapter 3, did not distinguish between blacks and criminals. In 1911, Lombroso observed there exists a group of criminals born for evil against whom all social cues break as through against a rock. A fact which compels us to eliminate them completely, even if by death. This group, this group consists of men who were inherently immutable, immutably evil because of their deranged physiology. They were also, in this view, more likely to be black than white. You have some people that believe black people were born savages, and this is something to think about. There is over 7 million people voted for Trump last year. I mean, last election cycle. 7 million. Now you know some of those people are your teachers, your lawyers, your doctors, and a lot of people that's in Congress and your mayor and all this stuff. And we all know that majority of Trump supporters do not like black people. And they hate immigrants. We are in a world of trouble because what is what happened? They say some of these people voted for Barack Obama, but and he was voted in twice. And you know why this Trump is so mad? Because he was only voted in once, and he's never getting back in that White House because there's more decent people in this country than it is hate-filled people. It is because these people, they come out of the woods, they come off the farms, lakes. These are people that the only time you see them is at a Trump rally. They stay in their little neck of the woods. And most of these people probably only see a black person maybe once or twice a year. And I know because I have went through some towns where might see one black person and they probably didn't live there. Yeah, they live way back in the woods and them little hit towns, one way in, one way out. You know, them is the places that you know, instead of getting on the highway, you go the back way. They in the back ways, and they have their own way of doing things. They have nothing really to do. They have to drive miles to go to the store, miles to go out and eat, and they just stay there. And most of them just sit there and listen to Fox News on the radio or something. Because a lot of them don't have probably have that brand uh, internet, and that's why they be so happy to go to a Trump rally. It gives them something to do. I mean, most of them drive 2-3 miles, sometimes 20 miles to get to a Trump rally because you have something to do. You can get up there and hear all the hateful things that you think about every day, and you hear about what all the bad the immigrants doing, and what make it so bad. These people that's at the Trump rallies, they don't even be around any immigrants. They are in the doggone back. Some of the hit towns that um and I'm gonna tell you something about immigrants. This is my feeling. And everybody got the right to be, well, that's the way it's supposed to be. What we know is not true. In some places that it's really strict on who could be there and where you can go and who you can see it. Uh, Communist countries. And but they don't look at the real deal. A lot of these countries is like they are because of the United States. They learned all that evilness from the United States. And Britain. Because you know, everywhere white people go, they bring destruction and pain and suffering, blood, sweat, and tears. It follows them everywhere they go. And these people that is fleeing these countries to come over here, it's a shame. That is so bad that they want to leave. They want to leave their country to come over here and then be treated like dogs. They can only get the jobs that we don't want and paid low wages and looked down upon. Yeah, it gets frustrating. Just like when we had some stuff delivered from Lowe's. It took them 3 times to get it right, but every time they came, they sent over people that could hardly speak English. But I ain't mad at it. Hello. I'm not mad at it because if I could go somewhere else, I would go too. But see, that's why they have to go through the back way because it's expensive, really expensive to move out of the country. And then if you move out of the country, you have to go through so much to move and to become a citizen. And you have to get a green card, then you have to do this, and then you have to do that. And oh my goodness. So yeah, they um, they may go through the back way to get here, and but them immigrants are not stopping us from fulfilling our dreams. Cause I'm gonna tell you, I remember when them what do you call them Indians, people from India and over there, dang, Islam and all them people that came and took over all our corner stores. They came here because see back in the 70s and stuff, we had all the corner stores, and it wasn't that many like it is now. Bam, maybe one or two corner stores, you know. Um, but now you got 4 or 5 of them on one corner, one street. But then again, we wasn't living like that. We was more thriving. I don't know what happened. That's what I'm saying. It's like the more corner stores, the more we start smoking and drinking. um, and they start building more churches. It seems like the more churches they built, the less bars they got, and the more criminalized and drug addicts people got. That whoever was running stuff wasn't thinking, was not thinking at all. And uh, and then the liquor stores used to be state run. Now you can buy liquor just about anywhere. You can buy liquor in the drugstores, um, grocery store, corner store, gas station. And if you look in the black neighborhood, that's all you got. So we're not planning for our future. We're not planning for our children to have a better future. Because most of our kids, we can't afford to take them overseas or take them on lavish vacations. And even if you could, most of the time you can't because your job won't let you, or um, and some of us can't afford to take a week off because we don't get um, it's just hard for some of us, and it's a shame that our kids can't have that in their life, good vacations and fun-filled times with family and friends. So,
but we begin this hour with the first voting in the 2024 presidential election. It kicks off.
I am so. Walter E. Williams, Race and Economics. How much can be blamed on discrimination? Oh, a lot can. A lot. You go in some of these companies, you see one or two black people there. You don't have any black-owned businesses downtown at all. If it is, maybe it is. I don't know. And politics versus free market economics. Which really serves minority interests best? There's no question that Black Americans have suffered gross violations of basic human rights in the forms of slavery, discrimination, and personal violence. But, says Walter Williams, an acknowledgement of these injustices and of current judicial demonstration does not help to evaluate what is or is not in the best interest of Blacks today. In Race and Economics, William applies an economic analysis to the problems Black Americans have faced in the past and present to show that the free market resource allocation as opposed to political allocation is in the best interest of minorities. Contrasting the futures of market resource allocation with those of the political arena, he explains how, in the political arena, minorities cannot realize a particular preference unless they win the will of the majority. In the market, he shows that it's a sort of party not exist in the political arena, which one person's dollar has the same power as the next person's. That is so true. That is so true. Now, he said, unless they win the will of the majority. What does that mean? Win the will of the majority. I say we have to become the majority as far as being in power and economics. That has to be our collective goal. And until then, we're going to stay right where we at. And I'm going to tell you how I know that. The George Floyd showed us where we at. This man literally had his knee on this man's neck for, what he said, 18 seconds, a minute and 18 seconds or something like that, on camera, on live TV, in, I was thinking, in Wisconsin. And nobody did nothing. Nobody did nothing. I kept hearing them. I said, get off. Get off his neck. Get off. Nobody did nothing. Why? Just like what happened to Freddie Gray. Everybody hollering, stop, leave him alone. You see his leg is hurt. But nobody did nothing. All the guns, all the jails, all the criminals. Not one person lift up a hand to help these men. And that's exactly what they're doing. They got their knee on our neck, and we is not doing nothing. We are just sitting around letting them kill us, put us in jail. Like we can't, it's nothing we can do about it. I mean, really, who does that? Yeah, he in jail now. But Freddie, that that's what happened. They have their knee on our neck, and we just laying and not doing nothing. And I can't understand. As big as he wasn't able to get that man off his knee. I mean, get that man's knee off his neck. And you had people just standing around in front of a corner store. I still haven't got that question answered. Why was he at the corner store? If I heard something about he had tried to buy something with a counterfeit bill, and they called the police. But what I want to know is, why was he still there? Because I know they told us if somebody tried to pass you a counterfeit dollar, you have to keep it and tell them to leave. I know a lot of people don't want to hear that. And so if they was calling the police on him about a counterfeit bill, why was he still at the corner store when the police got there? And why did it ensue to a fight? Because you usually don't get arrested for a counterfeit $20 bill because who knows, you might not even know it was counterfeit. And then why did this police officer feel like he had to be on this man's knee that long? That incident right there just kind of puts me in the mind of how us black people is living here in this country. They can come in our church, shoot us up. We do nothing. Person go to jail for life. Okay. They can come to our store, shoot us up, kill 10, 11 of us, go to jail, and we do nothing. go in our schools, kill 19 of our children, and they go to jail, and we do nothing. What is wrong with that picture? Who got us so scared to piss off the white people? Oh, if we do something against them, they're going to hurt us even more. Wait a minute. We all sitting around just waiting for it to happen again. Anyway, we didn't learn from Atlanta when they bombed that church and killed those 4 little boys. I mean, girls. We didn't learn from that. We didn't learn from Tamar Rice and countless more. I mean, there's so many you can't name. Um, can't remember all their names. And now they're killing us and burying us. I would be surprised how often that happens. Probably just not in Mississippi. You come up missing. And they got us so scared that we definitely won't say nothing. They even killed all our leaders. I mean, they say it was black people. Well, I guess it was black people that killed Malcolm X. But um, all the ones that could have put a change, they killed them. The mainstream, mostly, we're not talking about Muslims. We're talking about the mainstream black person. Now all we're doing is just destroying each other. Going out there drinking and smoking and drinking and driving and killing people and going to jail and losing their license, and you can't even get a decent job because you done killed somebody. Half of them can't vote no more because they're criminals. They can't carry a gun because they're criminal. You meet the average black man and they don't even have a driver's license. They was taking their driver's license for not paying child support. Half of them get out, make a few babies, then go back. And the good ones we do have out here, thank goodness for them. They raise their kids. They contribute to the community. That volunteer at the boys' club, help the fatherless boys. But it's not enough. You have them out here. You have some that's out here doing good stuff, building schools. Like LeBron James, he built that school, that I Promise program. But all that ain't nothing but a drop in the bucket. It's not helping. It's not a drop in the bucket. You can't see the impact until we all unite and get this done. It's just a drop in the bucket. Because, see, for one thing, we lost our self-respect when we had to, in the first place, have some white people sign an emancipation proclamation to set us free. We didn't free ourselves. Now, if we had freed ourselves, we would have fared better. We wouldn't have had to go through antebellum and Reconstruction. But now that we're stuck in this, it's going to take all of us to get out of it. You have all these millionaires, all these black people that's millionaires and billionaires and stuff. What is they doing? A drop in the bucket. And these stupid people out here spending all this money to go see them dance and fret and bebop up and down the stage. Which I ain't saying nothing wrong with it, but it's time for us to put on the brakes and say we got to do better. We got to put our money where it counts. We got to get smart. Because really, everybody now that is uh, 5 years and older, your time is it's really low. Because for one thing, uh, it's a lot of cleaning up to do. We're kind of like stuck in this uh, realm of dysfunction. And that's why I'm saying us now that's living, we have to just put on the brakes and say, you know what? We're going to reverse this. We got to do this for the future. We can't have our great grandkids still singing We Shall Overcome. We can't have that. Because it's a doggone shame. Back in the 60s, that's when they start, 50s and 60s, that's when they started. Here it is, 2024, and we still Black Lives Matter signs. And bending over backwards to appease the white man. No, that's got to stop. It's got to stop. No. Our kids deserve better. We can't let them say, that's why a lot of our kids now is mad at us. Because we've been too damn weak. They took the chains off, but we put them back on. So we can live among the white people. Go to their parties. Go eat in their businesses. Shop in their businesses. Be able to wear their Gucci and Prada and Michael Kors clothes and have all the diamonds and pearls and silver and all that good stuff and Rolex watches. That's what we wanted. Where is that getting us? You know what it's getting you? A button in the back. That's what it's getting you. And you know what else is getting you? Home invasion. Carjacking. Stupid. Getting all this beautiful stuff just for these idiots to come and take it. But I did get a couple of people to get on board. They didn't say much, and but it's cool. It's cool. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I'm not gonna stop till we get those warriors of change, and I mean raising up warriors of change for the better future. We could all live on this beautiful, vast world without stepping on each other's toes, bringing so much shame and guilt and hostility and all that. It can be done. And I ain't talking about waiting for Jesus and all that. I'm talking about doing it for ourselves. Because all creation is going to be realized. And the truth will come to pass. But you ain't going to know the truth if you're not living the truth. And I want everybody that's hearing my name, hearing my voice, if you're doing anything that's causing you unhappiness, let it go. Let it go. By the end of the year, you're going to have $1,000 in the bank. By the end of the year, you're going to have your driver's license. And you're going to be paying your debts off. And you're going to be treating your family like precious stones. And you're going to be happy. And we are going to start coming together to build a better foundation and a beautiful community. Because our community shouldn't be looking like this. I don't expect everybody to get out there and clean up the trash and stuff, but the ones that are able should. Why do we have to go? Because really, if we was really running things, we will make these people clean up their community. Because if you don't, you will be fined. Because you're the one that's throwing the trash out. And you're the one have to live here. So why are you living like this? Why do your kids have to come outside, go down the street, go to school, and all this trash is on the side of the road? And these corner stores need to be double taxed because it's mostly their trash that's being thrown out. All these fast food restaurants, double tax them. We should not have to live in a nasty, trashy community. We already got to deal with pollution, climate change. You don't see it. You don't see it like that in the suburbs. I'm not saying that they don't throw trash out, because I'm sure they do, because white people's nasty anyway. But I bet you they have good ass people trash removal. And plus, most of them people out there, they don't have all them corner stores that they go to the corner store and get their little stuff and throw it out the window with candy wrappers and potato chip wrappers and all that stuff. Peppers. You'll be amazed. Cigarette butts. You'll be amazed. I don't know why they stopped putting ashtrays in cars. What do you think the people are going to do with their cigarette butts? Oh, whatever. Well, thank you all for listening. That's what I do. I just talk about a little bit of everything. I'm going to read this, what I wrote right here on page 13. Claim. I demand a change in myself. I deserve the best for myself, my loved ones, and those coming forth. I will use this manual to keep me going forward and introduce a new me to a beautiful world. I love this world. I want to make this land better by being a better person. All false assumptions will not affect me all my days. And I have made my mind up that all these lies and stuff people have told on me, I'm not going to worry about it anymore. Adversity. I would thrive on adversity. I would triumph over adversity. Now, you can't do that if you're dead. So you better do it now while you're breathing. Craft. I will continue to use this manual and the required skills to divert thoughts of inadequacy in myself and my business. Positive. I would teach my loved ones to value themselves and their family. Eligibility. Confidence is flowing in my veins. I know I can carry out all my obligations and duties. We do have obligations and duties. I would adhere to the rules that are in place to keep my loved ones and myself safe. When encountering a new relationship, I must know their background and their intentions. Now, in this time of information, this age of information, you should not go into a relationship without knowing this person's background. You can look them up on the internet and see if that's what you're willing to deal with. Now, ask yourself, if you met somebody and you found out that they murdered their ex-wife, would you still be with that person? If you looked them up and you found out they only got a 450 credit score, would you want to be with that person? It's questions that we need to ask because we should not have to deal with something that's not going to bring us true happiness. Now, if you want to look at the person because he's cute, got a nice body, good loving, but he can't read, he can't get a decent job, can't get a car because he don't have no driver's license, you better make sure that's what you want to deal with. Because your happiness and your well-being comes first. And if you have children by this person, are they going to be a good dad or a good mother? There are some very powerful questions that has to be answered at a very young age. So, I want to read something right quick about happiness. No, that's not it. Okay. I wanted to. I had it. I had it in place. Now I can't find it. Okay. Okay, what is happening? What is happening? Okay, I have it next time. Mm, yeah, cause I want to stop. Mm. All right, everybody. You have a wonderful, wonderful day. Let's define happiness. Characterized by good luck, fortunate. Enjoy, showing, or marked by pleasure, satisfaction, or joy. Being especially well adapted, felicitous. Cheerfully, willing, and is happy to help. Characterized by spontaneous or obsessive inclination to use something. Often used in combination, trigger happy. Hmm. Enthusiastic about or involved with or a disappropriate degree. Often used in combination of money, comfortable, clothes, happy. I realize that hanging on to the past does not grant me happiness. Still, the future does. The future does, because the main thing I got from that is being cheerful, willing, and happy to help. And that is when I am most happy, when I am delighted, and that's only when you are in the now. And when I am anticipating something good happening and helping someone. All right. We're going to talk more about happiness. I would love to make a video on just positive and happiness. And that's what I'm going to do. And that takes a lot of work. It does. It takes a lot of work. And being happy for other people. Not happy because, oh, I just found $20. Just being happy overall. And not happy because you achieved something. Or just happy because you had a good meal. Just being happy. So we're going to talk about that. All right. Live for the future and stay happy. That's the way we're going to be. Peace out.